adventurers. Welcome to Let's Just Go podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kayla. And today we're telling you all about our exciting adventure that we went on actually earlier this week. We went to Epic Universe.
It was epic.
Here's what it really was. It was hot. It was 90 plus degrees while we were there.
It was warm.
Hot.
It was warm. It was warm. Well, it's Florida, Central Florida.
But it was April.
But it's not every day that we get to walk into a brand new, so it's still in preview stages, right? So it officially opens May 22nd, 2025. It's not every day we get to preview a theme park.
What was your spanking new theme park?
Brand new. What was your, what's your initial walk-in, like?
I thought it was so fucking cool.
It is really cool. I was reflecting on my own question. No, but I don't know how to explain it because it really was like, I did not feel like I was in a theme park.
Yeah. I think that, so for those of you who maybe know nothing about Epic, because I think if you're not in the world of theme parks, you may not really even have known. Like, I've been talking to people and they're like, what do you mean there's a new theme park opening? What are you talking about? So the way that Universal has set this park up is that there are portals to go to different lands. So when you think about Disney parks or, other Universal Studios parks, you just sort of flow from one land to another and you're just like staying on one very defined path. And that is not the case at Epic. You are going through literally a giant circle that is theming. So like for Super Nintendo World, you are going up escalators like you're going up the little, I don't know what the pipes in
green pipes
in Mario. Yeah. So it's a very like immersive experience. Yeah, it's a very immersive experience that if you have been to any of the Wizarding World sections of Universal's parks, that is something that they've definitely done previously in building out those lands. However, I don't think that the rest of Universal's parks feel that way. So I agree. It doesn't feel like you're in a theme park. It feels like you're walking into sort of a common space in a little town or something almost.
Right. Right.
Which is nice.
It is nice. So we'll talk more about that, but I agree it's probably best we explain what the hell is Epic Universe. Where is it coming from? And so, as Kayla was just sharing, the setup of the specific park, but in Universal Studios Orlando Resort, they now have Islands of Adventure theme park. They have Universal Studios theme park. They have Volcano Bay water theme park. As they call it, it's a water park. And then the fourth now, though, they now come May 22nd, they will have Epic Universe. So it is a brand new theme park that they've added on, but it is not exactly in the existing Universal complex. They've bought up land and they've made this gigantic theme park, of which we are told both existing two theme parks could fit inside of this theme park, which again is wild to me because it doesn't feel gigantic and that you can't navigate it. But that's what Epic Universe is. And there's the portals. We should talk about the portals, right? So the lands, Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, with a nod to the Fantastic Beasts. We also have
Isle of Berk.
Dragon. You already mentioned Super Nintendo World, and then Dark Universe, which is all the monsters. So thinking Dracula and Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. And then in the middle, which Kayla referenced a little bit ago, where she just feels like she's walking into like a small, cute little town, is Celestial Park. And I agree. It's full of restaurants. It has some attractions attached to it, to specifically a carousel and a roller coaster. But lots of restaurants, lots of walk-up bar areas, snack areas in Celestial Park. I mean, I could honestly have sat there in the shade, of course, all day long. It gives like the little bit of an Epcot feel of like, hey, this space is very intentionally for hanging out.
It very much feels like the new what they're not calling it Future World anymore, but it very much feels like the renovations that have been done in Epcot, where yeah, they've been very intentional about building out seating. I will say this is something that you and I both noticed. They they put park benches, or there's a water feature in the middle of Celestial Park, and it's beautiful. And there's a water show that goes on like every 15 minutes. I think they do some sort of water show, and they've got benches lining the water, and then they have like the umbrella that I bought for my backyard a couple of years ago to go up over the top of it because I think they realize that like there's not enough shade in this park. If you are in the portals, yeah, you can dip into a restaurant, you can dip into a shop, you can get in line for an attraction, and like you're gonna have shade. But if you're out in Celestial Park, it is hot. It's hot, and it's gonna take you like 5 minutes to walk from one portal to another. And like again, it was 90 degrees for us, sun beating down. I definitely got sunburned, but you can't see it because I'm wearing a high enough cut shirt today.
To
Uh,
cover it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I think I agree with that. Could have used a little more shade. But the the best part about it is there's something for everybody, right? I
there
mean, we
really
just
is.
mentioned literally, I think my entire life span of from Super Nintendo to Harry Potter, right? Which
I thought you were gonna
people
say from carousel to roller coaster.
or that. That's a good name. I like that name. Um,
It's gonna be the title of your autobiography when you write it.
well, you make a great point, though, right? Actually, no, that's going to be
You're
no.
writing that down, aren't you?
Yeah, I got to write something else. But but so from we're hitting all different age ranges because of the focus of things that are timeless, right? From Super Nintendo
Mhm.
um, to Isle of Berk, and now we have a soon a brand new How to Train Your Dragon, but Harry Potter, which
Mhm.
is 20 plus years old, right? People don't even realize that, um,
Yeah.
and then also like you mentioned, things like a carousel, all the way up to really intense, awesome roller coasters, and then everything in between from themed um, attractions that are very immersive to
Mhm.
uh, walk through kind of exhibits like or
Mhm.
and water um, attractions as well, which
Yeah,
we did not get on because
we
Kayla
did
was
not. That was the one ride we didn't do.
yeah, yeah, but I would do it. I would do it.
Yeah,
And if I was there in July, I would have been on it.
right. And I will say too, one thing is Chris and I are planning on doing a couple episodes about Epic Universe because there's so much to talk about. This is a brand new park. We recognize that, you know, most people probably aren't going to go even in 2025. You're probably going to wait, let the crowds die down. We get that, but we want to make sure that we're giving you as much information as we can to help you be informed on planning a trip, but also like I'm going to do my best to be spoiler free. Like I'm not trying to like ruin the experience for anyone. That being said, there are a couple of things that I really want to touch on. One of which is that while we were walking through this park, both Chris and I and the other people that we were with were saying that we didn't feel like it was a very accessible park, right? I mean, when you go into Super Nintendo World, you're literally getting on an escalator. It seems to be the only way to get into the park, which we know, or to get into that portal, which we know now is not the case after entering, because there are actually sides around most of the portals for you to go around if you're not wanting to go through the giant circle. Um, but there are aspects, there's so many stairs. It just seems like if you were in a scooter or a wheelchair, it would be really difficult to get around. And then Chris and I were waiting in line to get into the park and talking to a gentleman that was in a scooter and had a guide dog or a service dog with him. And I said, "Hey, can I ask you, how do you feel about the accessibility in this park?" Right? Because the best way to find out as able bodied people, us going, this seems really inaccessible, is not necessarily actually true. And this man said to us, "This is the most accessible Universal Park that I've been to." So I think that it's really important that we're highlighting that while you're watching videos and you may see that there are a ton of stairs and it seems like you couldn't bring a stroller here, and it seems like if you're in a scooter, this is not the place for you. We talk directly to somebody. Obviously, he doesn't speak for everybody who is in a scooter, but the fact that he had a service dog with him and he's in a scooter and he's saying this place is accessible for him and that he feels like he's just fine. His one complaint was that there's cobblestone streets in the Wizarding World, which I get. But I think that that's really important to highlight is that this is, according to this guy, a very accessible park. On the flip side of that, this is not a fat friendly park, which we already know this about Universal Studios.
Right.
There, when it comes to ride vehicles, if you are larger, more than likely you're going to have trouble fitting into these vehicles. And there's no exception here. This is the same case. The Dark Universe ride is actually the main ride, Monsters Unchained. I keep wanting to say Unleashed, is the same ride vehicle as Forbidden Journey if you've been on that. So a very tight space that you're fitting into for a cross. There are test vehicles at the beginning of every attraction, which is great. But it's just something to keep in mind that, we had a great time and it's really cool. And I think everyone should experience it. But also, like, these are things that are important to highlight that if you have mobility issues or if you are larger size, like if you're 7 feet tall, you're probably going to have a hard time fitting into most of these ride vehicles.
Right.
It's just the reality of Universal, unfortunately. Like that, this is an ongoing conversation in the theme park world, but I just wanted to make sure like we've experienced it, and these are the things that we've realized because I don't know that this is necessarily something people are talking about when everybody's talking about like, oh my God, I ate this thing and I went on this ride and look at how cool it looks. But I think that these are really important things to think about, especially if you're a mom with 4 kids and you've got 2 of them in a stroller and you're trying to figure out how you're going to navigate this place when you're literally I'm not kidding you when I tell you that to go into Super Nintendo World, you go up an escalator and then you immediately go down a set of stairs. Like it's
Right.
not, that's
Well, you don't have
exactly
to,
the
but yeah,
like path to get. Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want to see the most of the rest of that portal,
Right.
yeah, you do have to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree with that, and we like you said, we know that is true. Of the good news is they do have those test chairs and things that you can
Yeah.
for the poo sized friends to test out, so that you don't have to wait in line and then get up there. So um,
Yeah.
you know, we'll talk in a second, but we should give one disclaimer. I think we did say it in the beginning. It still is in preview stage, so
Yeah.
there's definitely signs out there that say, "Hey, this is not exactly 100% rocking and rolling," but it's pretty. It was still pretty good. They definitely have sorted
Hmm.
out things. We'll do an entire podcast episode on food, but I think we all agreed it was the best theme park food collectively.
Yeah.
There was not one bad thing, and it wasn't. Now, do they have popcorn and dumb stuff that you can buy, right? Like you can get anywhere, sure, but just
Yeah.
collectively, some of the best food.
You said there
It,
wasn't any bad things, but that's not true. That pizza that you ordered, I did not.
just the pepperoni
That's
pizza. Well,
listen.
you didn't like sauce,
It
right?
was too saucy. It was too saucy.
Yeah,
We'll get into it in another episode, but Chris ordered a bag of pizza because he was afraid he wasn't gonna like the pizza that I wanted to get. The pizza I got was fucking delicious,
it was very
but
good.
the pizza that Chris got, it was fine. I ate it. I ate a slice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I thought it was
It was,
good, but
yeah,
I
it was
agree. I
very
would agree
saucy.
that it was very
Very
saucy.
saucy. Yeah.
Um,
I will
so
say on the talking about food though, this is probably the most expensive food I've had in a theme park.
yeah,
I mean,
well,
like it was filling, but it was pricey.
yeah, things like even the grab and go things like your mac and cheese cone, at
Yeah, it was
17,
like
$18.
$15. Yeah.
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 So everything really being 15 or more.
Hmm.
However, I can somewhat justify that because, like you said, these things are better. They're bigger. They're
Hmm.
more filling. They're
Yeah.
shareable.
They're shareable for sure.
So that can go a longer way.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last thing that was really unique to this theme park is that there is a hotel attached to it. So Helios Grand Resort.
Mhm.
As you may know, all hotels in at the Universal theme parks are operated by Lowe's. So they don't technically own their hotels, but they are great. option. And then this is a great, there's, it definitely is in the upper echelon. It's in their signature collection. So it does fall into the more luxury category that Universal has. It also um, does not include Express Pass when you're staying there, right?
Very
So
important.
yeah, you may be thinking, oh, that's probably like Royal Pacific or Portofino or Hard Rock, and it is, except for that specific
Hmm.
point there that it does not include Express Pass for
But you
any of
get to
the theme
walk right
parks.
into the park.
Right
You're
in.
walking right in, and they're checking your room key, making sure you're staying there for you to walk in. When we actually came back from the park to like go check into our room, they were telling people that if they didn't have a room key, they were going to have a receipt to prove that they spent money at the hotel. Otherwise, they couldn't get back into the park.
Right. Right.
Thankfully, for our friends that weren't staying there, I had a receipt from my coffee I'd bought earlier in the day that I gave to them.
Exactly. So we'll do a whole
Yeah.
episode on Helios by itself.
Hmm.
So definitely listen in
Yeah.
for that. But the convenience, especially when exploring Epic, it's there for staying. And they
Yeah.
have theme park view rooms where Epic looks incredible at night. Um,
Yeah.
and so to be able to look out, and they keep all the water going and the lights on and the different things. So it's the theme park view there might be worth it for sure. Um,
Yeah.
with it also has lots of great restaurants, expensive restaurants as we mentioned, but lots of, not, I wouldn't say lots of, sorry, but good options,
A good selection.
a
They
good
also have
selection.
there's a good selection. Not that either of us are vegan or vegetarian, but I don't know if you noticed this, Chris. There's a lot of vegan and vegetarian options at this park, which I
I
was
did
pleasantly
I did
surprised
notice
by.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did. I'm going to take the meat. I want the meat, but
of course you are.
anyway, we're moving forward. We are moving forward. Um, so I honestly, I it's from a we look at it in different ways, right? We help people go to travel and get to places. So we're definitely looking at it in a through a different lens when we travel to these places. But I think to summarize my experience, right? I mean, really appreciative of the opportunity to preview it, but
Yeah,
you know, hands down, it is something to see, right? I mean,
yeah,
there's not a reason to not go. I mean, not that I thought that wouldn't be the case, but I mean, I really feel like I immediately was like, I cannot wait to bring my kids here. Like, this is something
okay,
everyone has to see because it is really so unique in the way that it is designed.
yeah, yeah. I think that I would agree with that. Obviously, I don't have kids. I can't. It's not that I can't wait to bring my kids there, but I do think, and we've talked about this. This park is really bringing Universal to not just being essentially an add-on to your Disney trip, right? This is making it
Right.
Universal is becoming a destination. You now have four parks to go to. You've got
City
City
Walk.
Walk. Like this is really a place that you can come and make your destination for your Orlando trip. That being said, like we mentioned before, this park is about what 20 minutes from the rest of Universal as of right now because they're building dedicated bus lanes for Universal on the path to and from. But currently, they're still riding in regular old traffic, and we made the mistake of moving from one to the other at 5 o'clock on a Monday.
Right.
So
Right.
for us, we literally sat in traffic. It took us 20 minutes for our Lyft driver to get to us, but it's a destination, and if you're wanting to spend a day at Epic, like a full dedicated day at Epic, like staying at Helios is perfect. And I mean that's what Chris and I did. We'll talk more about that, like we said, but it's a very cool experience, and there's honestly nothing like Epic Universe right now,
No.
and there's nothing like it anywhere, which is really cool. Um, and I think that seeing technical rehearsals, which is what is going on right now with these previews, and seeing that they've got all these kinks worked out and that they're really working on making sure things are flowing well for in 3 weeks when the park officially opens. Um, I think that guests are going to have a really great time. And I think that ultimately this is the direction that theme parks are heading in. And I'm really excited to see what else transpires after this, whether that's from Universal or from Disney or anyone else. I think that this is really like a elevating your theme park experience in a way that hasn't been done.
No, I agree. I completely
Yeah.
agree. And disclaimer on the traffic, they definitely are working on that, I think. So
Yeah.
it may, it might not, like Kayla said, it's not completely up and running. So hopefully that eases a bit.
That's part of the
Um,
technical rehearsals.
but
They're doing technical rehearsals for buses
yes,
too.
even for the even for the traffic, but they
Yeah.
have well thought out with different lanes and ramps for the buses and so forth, so
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
get to where you're going quickly.
Yeah.
I want to go back. Actually, I was like, kind
It
of
is
just want to
good.
hang out and like work from the Celestial Park.
Okay, so for everybody who doesn't know this, Chris has a specific place that he likes to work in Magic Kingdom. Chris, what is if you were to take your laptop into Epic Universe, where would be your spot?
Ooh, I think at that bar area, the tables by that bar area, right by the
Oh,
fountain, sort of
yeah.
right out in front of Meteor, Astro, whatever the
Those like couple
burger
little
place.
tables in front of those little one-off bathrooms.
Yep, you got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a, so
That's I think that that's a good spot. Yeah.
probably for everybody's reference, in sort of in front of the Harry Potter portal.
Wizarding World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Wizarding World. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I honestly
uh,
don't know what the full name of that portal is. It's
it's
like Wizarding World, but it's like themed to 1920s Paris, but I don't actually know what the like name of the land itself is called.
so the Ministry of Magic, but it's weird
Is it?
because I believe so because the well, we'll get into this more when we talk about, but it's Paris, but the ride Ministry of Magic is actually British,
Yeah, that's
so
why I didn't believe you,
it's a
but it is. It is Ministry of Magic. You're right.
so it's a string. It's a nod to both things, a combination.
Yeah.
So anyway, get there quickly. It is on sale. You can get 1 day tickets. You can buy multiple packages for that include Epic. Um, the way that they're selling the tickets now is a little bit unique. So definitely talk to a travel advisor in getting
Yes.
there, at
And they
least for
have VIP
2025.
tours and they have Express Pass.
Yep. So you don't have to
So if
wait in
you're
line
worried.
in a
Mhm.
brand new theme park.
And they were selling them even during previews. And Chris and I were definitely scoffing because we didn't have Express Pass and we were watching people go on the Ministry of Magic ride with their VIP lanyards and thinking, wow, that could be
I would
us.
have done it in a second.
I know. It's funny.
Um, but yeah. So anyway, let's just go there. Let's go again.
Let's just go. Yeah. So keep listening. We're going to talk way more about Epic. We've got a couple more episodes that we're going to record. And in the meantime, let's just go.